Happy New Year's Eve.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oops, I took my microphone. Cheers.
Cheers. So I think I already know the answer to this, Kathy, but just in
You know
case
me
I'm
pretty well.
wrong, are you partying tonight to ring in 2022?
That's so nice of you even to ask at this point.
You never know.
I as we've talked about, I have in the past, but I really like to go to bed early on New Year's.
Yeah. Or
So
do you think I think last year you had the kids had a party or something. Do you think you're going to have that going
no,
on?
I think
Okay.
this year's gonna be a little quieter. And I am so if they were here and they wanted to do something, I would certainly take a nap and stay awake. But if it's just my husband and myself, I have a choice, I will go to bed early. How about you?
Yeah, and then you can get the new year started right.
That's the thing, is I like to wake
I'm
up
not
early.
sure because I could stay up, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna. I'm not sure.
It's interesting, because it's either you celebrate the end of the current year or celebrate the beginning of the next. And so
Yeah.
I if I have my choice, I opt for celebrating the beginning of the next, but I'm
Yeah.
also not a night person.
Yeah, see, that's my problem too.
And
So
frankly, this
I've
wasn't the
had
best
fun
year.
sometimes. Yeah, so it's like let's
Yeah.
start the next year,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. I completely agree. So, hey, we should talk about what we're drinking to celebrate this episode.
Okay. What
So
is
we've
it,
got a
Kathy?
Pinot Grigio.
Mm-hmm.
Have a sip and I'll have a sip too. So this is one of my favorite wines I discovered this fall. And I think it's a great one to start the year. It's called, I'm holding it up so you can see it. It's called Mind and Body.
Yeah.
And it is a Pinot Grigio from California. It is one of the low cal and lower alcohol content wines. And I think it's delicious. I really like it a lot.
Good.
Um, the tasting notes are delicate floral notes mingle with ripe pear, peach, and melon on the nose, leading to bright citrus, white peach, and tropical fruit flavors.
Hmm.
What do you think?
I like the tropical fruit flavors.
That would be up your alley.
There was, did you say two different peaches in there?
Mm, I don't think there was two. It said
Oh,
ripe pear,
pear and
peach, and
peach.
melon. Oh, it
Yeah,
did
and then it
mention.
did say peach again.
Yep, and then it said
So,
leading to bright citrus, white peach, and tropical fruit flavors. And
oh,
I
okay.
I do like a white peach. I mean, if I had my choice, I'd pick a white
Is
over
this
the yellow.
flesh white of a white peach?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
I
the
like
inside
peaches
is,
a lot, but I'm like, I don't know if I've ever had something that was white on the inside.
yeah, it's kind of white to pink. It's
Okay.
definitely a different color.
Yeah.
So I
Maybe
thought
they
that would
don't
be a
grow in
good
Georgia
choice.
that much.
What?
That's what's, I said, maybe they don't grow in Georgia that much because
Mm,
I'm close to Georgia, so I just get
I don't
Georgia
know where they're
peaches.
from. I don't know.
Okay.
Anyway, so let's talk about our topic for today.
Yes. Yes.
So
Okay.
our topic
So,
is challenges.
yes, you came up with this monthly challenge
I did.
idea to start 2022, which I thought was pretty cool. And then I just started looking at all the different challenges that I probably would like to do. And so I thought, well,
Yeah.
we could just give a bunch and people can choose, or they can choose a new one, which is what I might do, a new one each month,
Well,
either
it
to
is
add
kind of a,
on
yeah.
or to replace, depending on how well I did with the challenge the month before.
Well, I love trying to improve and,
Hmm.
resolutions and goals and all that stuff. But, when you talk about something for the whole year, it just feels daunting. And so like a
Right.
30-day thing seemed a little more doable to me.
Yes.
Um,
Absolutely.
and I had seen this on an email newsletter that I get, and I thought it was so interesting. And it's actually not new. It is from Neil Strauss, and it's a 30-day challenge to stop complaining.
Oh,
And it's from 2013 is when he first posted this. And but I thought it was really interesting because I think there's a place for venting. Like I think if you have
I was gonna say,
situation.
did you pick this just because I've been complaining so much this year?
No,
Because I
no,
really think it's been a big year for
for
venting
complaining.
slash complaining.
Well, I think the reason I picked it is that my husband and I have discussed this a few times about how I think there's a place to um, vent or complain even as long as there's a solution in sight. But I don't want to just be in the place of just bitching, frankly, about
Right,
things that are unless I'm going to do something about it. And
right.
so I saw this and I thought it was really interesting. And I'll tell you the other thing. Since I'd found this, my husband had mentioned to me just a few days ago that Tiger Woods apparently has a rule that after he hits a golf shot and if it doesn't go well, he gives himself 10 steps to walk it off. Like, be
Right.
pissed, frustrated for 10 steps, but after that, like, be done. And I thought, well,
Interesting.
that's pretty
That's a
extreme.
good way, but yeah,
Yeah.
might
So the
help with the challenge.
yeah, so the concept of this is you get like 10 singles, $10 bills, and if you find yourself I'm getting a
Oh, don't
package.
complain, May.
I know. I'm getting a package.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Um, Which we done. The concept is that you take $10 bills and that you at the beginning of the month, and that if you find yourself complaining, right, without a solution in sight, or it's not legitimate, like a recent venting that you needed to do, just complaining to complain, you have to give a dollar to the person nearest you,
Oh,
whomever it happens to be. And by the end of the month, you need to try to not have any dollars. I mean, to still have your dollars left, I guess, right?
your $10?
Yes. So I think it just also
Or at
helps, it
least
holds
a
you
dollar?
accountable. Huh?
Or at least a dollar,
Well, I
right?
think it helps you. It says your goal is to make it through the month without giving all of them away.
Yeah, because I was gonna
Um,
say, I mean, you gotta have at least one time you're gonna be giving them away.
well,
Or
it's
you might as well
interesting.
just give up right after that then.
It's like
Like,
the
"Oh,
reverse of the swear
lost."
jar, I suppose,
Yeah.
which I wouldn't even bother trying
Yeah.
because I swear too much.
Well, that's
So
a good one.
that's
Yeah.
yeah. So that's what I'm gonna try.
You're
What do you
gonna
think?
try it?
I'm gonna try it.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I mean, I thought of one that I wanna try.
Yeah, what is that?
I might try yours, but maybe not the first month or whatever. I mean, I do want to try that, but I don't want to have to think about trying it too much in the same month as I want to get back in an exercise
Mm,
routine. So I found my daughter actually found this website where you can actually do it's free, like you can go on YouTube and see the videos, and it's this Cassie Ho lady, and she has like 10 million
oh my
subscribers.
gosh.
She's been doing it for years, and she just came out with an app as well.
Oh wow.
And so you can do it on her website, and it's a 28-day workout calendar for beginners.
Oh.
And then she has other challenges too, for
Mm-hmm.
different levels, like, 7-day abs or whatever. And it's called Blogalates, like Pilates, but Blogalates, because she does a blog, and her website is really cool. She's got all kinds of stuff on there, food and
Oh, cool.
um, you know, products and things like that. I think you would find the website really neat. You'd be
Yeah, I'd
like,
like to
okay,
look at that.
Christy, do this on our website. And then her her app is free, but if you want to get the premier level, which will keep you accountable, like on the 28
Mm-hmm.
day workout or whatever challenges you're doing, it's only like $3.99 a month, or for the whole year it's like $39.
Oh, so that's very affordable.
Yes, and then you just, do the videos, and they start out, they could be like only 10 minutes each
Mm-hmm.
day. I mean, you can work yourself
Yeah.
up to different days require a little bit longer time, but it's a great way to get back into things.
Mm.
And I used to love doing Pilates, so I was thinking
I love
That would be
Pilates.
good.
Yeah, that's
So I think
exciting.
that's what I'm gonna try to do.
I love that.
And maybe if I can, not complain about the pain that I'm in.
You can combine the two.
Yeah.
Well, I will say on that same note, it is dated, but I am starting to get back into running, and my our office manager and I have loosely committed to running a half marathon together in May. And I have gotten out of running, I mean, completely. And so,
Yeah.
but I do follow, I follow Hal Higdon's running plan. That's what I did before when I ran a half
Now, did
marathon.
you have you've already ran a half
I have,
marathon?
yeah.
That's amazing. I'm so
And
impressed.
but I have, it's so frustrating with any exercise. It's so hard to get back into it. And I always
Right.
think, and I've done this to myself so many times where I've gotten in really good shape and then I kind of slide and I don't
Yeah.
maintain. And I, I think like I
I
like a
think it's
plan.
a pandemic.
Well,
Yeah, you have to have a goal.
but I
That's
think,
probably what it
yeah. And
is.
then,
Yeah.
once like the half marathon is gone, I don't have a new one and so I
Right.
think, but I like having a plan and I will follow it. Like if somebody gives me a plan, I will do that. And that is, so I'll be doing
Oh,
that while you're doing this other one.
very similar to that. I had right before the pandemic, and honestly, it was like the February or January before it that we had started with a group of friends to do a 5K
I remember
a
that.
month.
Yeah.
And so they just recently said we should do that again. So I'm thinking
Hmm.
about doing it, starting in 2022 too. That's
Yeah.
doable because I could even walk a 5K, in the
Right.
time
Or
that,
you can walk it or you can run walk. I mean, just anything
yeah,
that's more challenging than what you're doing now, I
yeah.
think is
And
great.
then the fact that you're doing one every month, it gives you that,
And that
keep it
constant
up.
accountability. I think
Yeah.
that's so great.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I love
yes.
that.
Yep. And
I love that. What's
another
another one you're
one,
going to
and this one I would have started it sooner, but
do?
of course I haven't. But if I give myself the challenge, and that was clean or organize a drawer or a shelf a day. Like just
Mm.
one drawer, because things, as especially in this last year, it feels like it's just been like just treading water. Okay,
Mhm.
I got to get this thing done. I got to get this thing done. Oh, just throw it in that drawer. Just do this.
Mhm.
And so it's about time, you know, because I haven't moved in a while, so things are starting to build up and get all, and I just need to go through things and be
Mhm.
like, toss it or donate it or organize it. I know
Yeah.
it's probably not something you need to do because you are very organized, but it's something
I
I need to do.
I do try to maintain but I will say clutter or disorganization makes me very stressed.
Hmm.
And so I can identify with what you're saying. Like if you can identify it, you're like, I need to do some of that. It's just on your mind.
Right.
And for me, I think a cleaner space or more organized space or less stuff helps
Hmm.
me breathe better or think better. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah, and I agree, when you get through that, when you're done, it's like such a satisfying thing.
Yeah. That's the thing is you don't have to even enjoy it in the process. Like it's just
Yeah.
that at the end it's just like I don't right now running the worst thing ever. Like I've never looked less cute or happy in my life. And
Yeah.
by the way, the complaining rule will not apply when I'm running.
Oh, I'm gonna tell Clayton he can make a lot of money if he runs with you.
Yeah. I'm an unhappy it's not even running at this point. It's the slogging. I'm
Yeah,
slogging.
yeah.
So
Slogging is a term. That's what I used to take the kids when we walked through the swamps of the Everglades. We called it
really?
slogging. Yeah. We're
That's
going
probably what I look
slogging,
like.
so make sure you wear, jeans and
My gators.
yeah.
So one thing I want to do, it's not really a 30-day test or challenge, but one thing I've been wanting to do in the new year is I want to take an anagram test. Anagram test. Have you heard of that?
I do not know what you're talking about. I
It's
mean, I know what an anagram is, but that
well,
doesn't seem like it's a
this is
test. Is it? Oh, it's a
ENNE.
totally different word. Okay.
Yeah, it's a personality test. And there's
Mm.
like 9 different kinds of personality traits or personalities. Anagram, ENNEAGRAM,
So that's
personality
not like
test.
that one that's like the 4 different, I forget what that's called, where it's like you're, come on, sound editor, you know what
I'm
I'm
sorry.
talking, like EFN, it categorizes you in 4 different things, like
Oh,
introvert, extrovert, and your level of
okay.
that, and
It's
then
probably very similar to that. This is more like a, I think if
it's
you're like
Myers-Briggs. That's what that one is
okay. Uh, so helpful to have him here.
I know.
This is more really personality based. Um, and the concept is that by knowing what your personality traits are, then you know the strengths and the weaknesses of that, right? And then you can just awareness.
Right.
And I've seen some writers that I admire who talk about, they're like, well, I'm a level 3, or, I'm a strict level 7.
Okay.
And I'm
Oh,
like, I want to know what that means.
right.
But clearly it's been important to them to identify themselves in a certain way. And
Well, how do you take this test?
well,
Do you
you
have to
can,
like pay for
there's, a-
it?
there's an, there are some that are paid and there are some that are unpaid. And I'm sure there's different, you know,
Hmm.
opinions about the test, but I found a couple of different links. One says it takes about 30 minutes. And I said I try it. I'm just kind of
Yeah,
curious.
I want to try it too.
Yeah, more self-awareness.
Yeah.
We'll have to try it maybe one time, some month together and
Yeah,
see
we
where
could
we're
talk
at.
about it. We could talk about
Yeah.
it on the podcast.
We'll probably be like, how like some zodiac signs are supposed to like not go together and some go to probably like 1 in 5 don't go together or
Yeah.
something like that.
No, it won't
Hmm.
be. Yeah,
Connor just put it up in our chat, the
yeah.
anagram. Anagram. So we'll put that on our link.
Enneagram.
Yeah. So that's
Yeah.
that's one thing I've been wanting to try.
Yes. Well, that sounds good.
Yeah.
That sounds really good.
So
I wouldn't mind trying that. Now that could tell us like, don't even try that challenge because your personality will
maybe
not handle it or something. We
that's
should probably
funny.
take that right in the beginning. Just be like, you're wasting your time.
Yeah.
One thing that a lot of people do in January is a month without drinking.
Yeah.
I might try that. That's probably the only month I could probably handle it.
Well, why January? Like, why would that be helpful?
Because there's really no holidays,
Oh, I
people
see, like
are,
socialization stuff.
yeah, so the social things, like, I'd
Yeah.
say February, but that's, my birthday or Valentine's Day. Then March,
Yeah.
I don't know. They start having, I don't know. It might be hard even in January, but
You realize our podcast is built upon drinking wine.
well, I wonder if you could say the challenge minus the couple days. We're only
Yeah.
recording
That's like
2 or
me
3
saying that
days
my
in
complaining
January.
challenge won't apply when I'm trying to
Well,
run.
don't they have things like that? Like during Lent, Sunday is a day of you can break Lent or something. No, maybe that was just one of
I
my
think
rules.
I think you can make whatever challenge you want.
Okay, so 6 challenge, and the 7th day is a day of rest.
We did
Or
our
I'll just
own
get the real no non-alcoholic wine, maybe.
little no alcohol a few weeks ago because my husband and I both were getting colonoscopies.
Oh
And
yeah.
you're not supposed to drink for a week before. So we're like, well, let's go for it. So we try to tap on weeks on either end. And yeah.
How'd you do?
Well, I mean, yeah. I
Did you do it for our podcast? One time.
you
Yeah,
know,
you did.
I
One time you
recorded
did.
with water,
Yeah, yeah.
sparkling water in our podcast during that time. But I
But it
say if
wasn't
that
easy,
works for
right?
you, do it. But for now, I'm
For
enjoying this Pinot
now,
Grigio.
it's still not 2022.
What else you got, Christy, besides your no
Oh,
month of alcohol?
this one, and I sort of started kind of trying it, but then I forget. So you have to make it, you have to put signs up or something. But it's called the High Five Habit. And
Oh,
Mel Robbins did a whole, oh, you got the book?
I do. Hang on, I'm gonna grab it.
Okay. Yeah, so I just listened to awesome. I just listened to a
Sorry, Connor.
podcast with I just listened to a podcast with,
Yeah,
my Cleaning Up the Mental Mess podcast, and she was being
I have
interviewed
been
on
listening to
there.
that, by the way. Yeah.
And so I was like, I can do that. And honestly, it probably does work, but
Tell
I
everybody
I
what it is, the concept.
it's where you when you get up in the morning, you have a routine where you give yourself a high
You're like
five,
this.
just like because her theory, and I'm sure she goes into it in the book, like is something along the lines of this gesture is never a bad
No.
gesture. It's always, I did it yesterday to my
But
dad,
you
and
know
I'm
what?
sure he had the same
Exactly.
response where you're kind of like, oh, yeah, makes him feel good.
It does.
And
But you do it
so,
for other people so much. And that's her
right.
point, is that you need to do it for yourself, And
Yes.
I think it's a
So
really
as
cool
you keep
concept.
doing that, then you start, just having a more positive feeling about yourself.
Hmm.
And it changed her life. So I guess she talks about it in the book.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? That sounds like a really good idea.
I am so glad you brought that up. I really admire Mel Robbins. I think she
Hmm.
is very raw and honest, and brings it all the hard stuff, all the good stuff. And I think the other habit she had was the 4 5 4 3 2 1. Like, don't,
The 5 second one. Yeah, I
yeah,
didn't, I didn't have that one. I didn't get the book.
it's
She mentioned
really,
it.
I think it was Audible's like best listened to book ever, probably until this thing. But it's so easy to do, but it really does. Like, I don't tend to like stay in bed in the morning. That's not my jam. That's my problem. My problem would be like staying awake at night.
Right.
but but the concept is that if you are doing something that you're avoiding, just 5 4 3 2 1 and do it, and it just switch your. And I just think it's so smart and
Yep. And
simple
I
is
and
good.
I have been, this past year, it's been one of those kind of years where I'm just like I wake up and I'm like, "Oh no, I do not want to confront all this stuff that I know
Yeah.
is right there facing me down." And
Okay.
so that really I
That's
think will
fair.
help. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's an awesome one to have.
Yep.
Okay, so one that we're recording this, hint, just a little bit before New Year's Eve.
Yep.
I've been doing one for the month of December to kind of
Oh.
end the year well. And I've been doing a plank challenge.
Oh, yeah, we did
I
that
have
one
been.
other time.
We
Remember, for
did. And
like what, 10 days or something?
yeah, this one's a 30-day.
Yeah, you should do
Day
it.
I'm on day 8, and it's humbling.
Yes. So
But
are you doing, is it 2 minutes?
no, you ease up into it. So it just starts with um I think it started with 20 seconds and then 30, and you just ease up.
Oh,
And
good. I should try that. I'll try that too.
yeah, and then
Because
the
that's
one
where
that,
I'm like, I'm getting all flabby,
yeah, I know. Um and so yeah, so I've been doing it, and I have to say I'm I can feel it every day, and it's not, killing me, but I can
Right.
feel it. I think just feeling
Uh-huh.
when you've
And
been
your
working is really
abs and
nice.
stuff too. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, when did we do that? Was it?
I think it was last January, February,
Oh,
because
wow.
we talked about meditating, we talked about a plank challenge.
Yeah, that's another thing I thought about too, was the meditation, because that's another thing that I want to get. But I am getting it pretty regular each
That's
day. But
good.
yeah,
That's really good.
but that would be a challenge for some people, to do because
Meditation, the hard thing about meditation is that you don't get good at it very quickly. And the idea of what is good at it is this, that you can sit with your busy mind, because hardly
yeah,
anybody gets to that quiet mind right away.
right.
And so you have to get used to, at least for me, I think the idea is just getting good with your monkey mind and just
Mm-hmm.
saying, okay, hi, I see you, going back to it. And
Mm-hmm.
um, that's what I didn't love about meditation initially, was that I wasn't getting good at it. My idea of very good very quickly. And then I finally got to the place of just accepting the monkey mind and then trying to bring it back. So
Mm-hmm.
I think that's one of the barriers
And
to
I
meditating.
still very much do guided. I use like Headspace because
Yeah.
when I try to do it on my own, Sometimes, but most
Yeah.
of the time it helps to have somebody kind of just be like, okay, now if you're starting to wander, come
Yeah.
back and
Come
do
back.
count your breaths or
Christy,
whatever.
I when I did yoga teacher training a couple of years
Uh-huh.
ago, we started, we did some meditations, and like they started in like 20 minutes and I thought I was gonna go insane.
Oh man,
Like I
that
was
is a
literally like,
long one to
can I go
start
get
at.
my journal? Like I've got things I need to do. Can I check it? Like I just didn't, I wasn't even close. Everybody else around me, I'm sitting there in the dark room, eyes open, looking at everybody clearly in their Zen state. And I was like,
Oh, yes.
so I've come a
So
long way
that
since
that
then.
shows that you needed it a lot
Oh, I
then.
did. I was like, my planner is in my bag in the hall. Is that okay if I get it?
Uh, well, I guess the last one is that I have is like end on a positive note because it's each day, a challenge would be each day to write in a positivity journal.
That's lovely.
And yeah, and there I found a great website, positivewriter.com, that had a blog about how the author started doing it and was, and gives you exact kind of
Mm-hmm.
like guidelines and stuff. And it was like every night before going to sleep, just write something positive about that day, what you'd accomplished, and something you look forward to on the next day. Just little. And in the beginning, it's very hard, especially when you've got, if you've got a negative brain wave going, which a
Mm-hmm.
lot of us do right now. I mean,
Yeah.
there's so much negativity out there. So, that we immediately. So I
Yeah.
think that would be a really good thing for anybody.
I do too. It's like a gratitude journal in the same
Yeah.
concept where you just have to shift to what's good. And it's hard sometimes. It's
Yeah.
really hard, but you can develop a habit of it. And I
And
think,
then it starts
yeah.
getting easier so that even during the day you notice these things
Mm-hmm.
rather than just get through the day and go, "Oh, what was positive today? I don't know." I mean, I think I'm a glass half full type person, so I kind of try to do that on a regular basis anyway, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't really write it down, and there are times when it gets dark.
Well, the nice thing about having it written down is you and I both know that writing it really stimulates your brain and it makes it more real.
Right.
And you also have something to look back on. If you're really
Yes.
struggling, you can look back and go, well, I found that to be positive. And I think
I
there's something valuable about
know. I
that.
know. That's one thing that
Yeah.
is I've regretted not journaling as much because I'm like, "Oh, I wish I could have," because then whenever I find something from years earlier, I'm like, "Oh, that's so neat. I can't believe that. Oh, yeah."
Yeah. I do morning pages where I just
Hmm.
write like 3 pages every morning in my journal, and
Wow.
I
That's
can't read it
awesome.
most time because my handwriting stinks so bad.
I know, I can't read your handwriting either.
No one
I'm like,
can.
she's a lawyer, but she should have been a doctor.
Yeah, well, um, but yeah, there's something about writing, and
Yeah.
it's a good thing.
Yep.
Well, should we wrap this up?
Sure, sure. We want to thank everybody for joining us
Yes.
today.
And
And a happy new year to everybody.
right, happy
Yes.
2022. I like the
Wow.
sound of that.
Yes, I do too.
Yes. And if you try any of our challenges, you can find the links, or if you want to try any of them, we'll have the
Yep.
links for you in our episode blog, which will be on our website, gameofbookspodcast.com.
Yeah. And actually, you know what?
Hmm.
If you do try some of the challenges, we'd love to hear about it.
I would. It'd be
You
so fun to
know,
talk to everybody about how they're complaining these,
yeah. We
or
could
lack
like
of complaining.
mention it on our like GOB blog,
Yeah.
GOB Rex episodes or something like that because it'll be fun to see how we're doing.
Yeah, it will be.
Anyway, and also on our website, you can subscribe to get
Mm-hmm.
emails to all the new episodes in our monthly newsletter, which we're just put loads of stuff into,
Me too.
like
Yeah.
contests and giveaways and,
Yeah.
you know, lists and recipes and
Yep.
everything.
Yep.
So, all the
And
things.
of course, please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter.
Yep.
And we have all that, the giveaways and posts and all kinds of things that we post about all the time.
Yep.
That was very redundant.
That's all right. We're just reinforcing. That's what we're doing. So that's all for today's episode of GOB with Christy and Kathy, where we talk writing, reading, and life in between every Friday morning, just in time for the weekend.
Cheers.
Cheers.